Mora, Wemo, Mora, Nachichangunga, Mara, Mukmuk, Mora, Wemo, Mora, Nachichangunga, Mara, Mukmuk, Mora, Wemo, Mora, Nachichangunga. Bonyada combare, bocojane, bocojane. Bonyada combare, bocojane, bocojane. Hey, 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 Bonyada combare, bocojane, bocojane. Bonyada combare, bocojane, bocojane. Bonyada combare, bocojane, bocojane. Bonyada combare, bocojane, bocojane. Hey, 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 hey. I'd like to call up Auntie Joyce Donovan. Now, Dr. Joyce Donovan. Dr. Auntie Doctor. She'll tell us what she wants to be called, eh?
You can call me anything.
Oh.
My name is Joyce Donovan, or Dr. Annie Joyce Donovan. I'm so proud to say that. This is the first time I'm saying it. And thank you very much, Lane. What an honour for me to graduate this morning and to come here to do the Welcome to Country. It's the greatest pleasure for me to now, pay my respects to my elders, both past and present, to all the students that are here, to all the distinguished guests, that have given me a great honour here this morning, that are sitting here behind me and guided me and nurtured me through the procedures. Thank you very much. I'd like to talk about our culture, about our learning. Learning is very, very important. And as little children in my society and community, we are nurtured. We receive spirituality training. It's a lifelong journey. It's a very, very important journey. We're educated culturally to get us through life, hopefully to do the right things, to gain knowledge. I'd like to talk about the area that I come from, which is La Perouse, right to the Shellhaven River, and the Dharawal and the Wadi Wadi and the Darug people and all of my extended family that all have a hand in that. I'd like to talk about in today's society how a lot of that education and nurturing is really, really moved and excluded a lot of different things. I'd like to talk about a time when our people were the healers and the nurturers, where our people used fishing lines made from the bark of a tree that were twisted. Fishing hooks were made out of shell and shaped with a rock. I'd like to talk about a time when our people used fish traps. They would weave the fish traps, where our women had certain places of education, culturally and spiritually, where our men also had their lawmaking, culturally, spiritually and educationally. I'd like to think and talk about here, this place, the University of Wollongong and Wollongong, where I believe the two merge together for a lot of our students and a lot of mainstream students. And it's very, very important because education is just so important. It goes hand in hand with our culture, with our healing, with our knowledge makers. I'd like to say to everybody here today, you know, this is a journey. Sometimes this journey can go on in education and all your different cultures. It is so important that we grow with that. I'd like to say too that a lot of people have never been to university or been to TAFE. So that if somebody I know from my community goes to TAFE or whatever, you then become a role model and go back and encourage others. So we've got a lot of people from all parts of the world. And I'd like to say that it's important that we share our culture, because everyone here at this university, regardless where you come from, and with our students, are all the leaders of tomorrow, and we can learn from each other, and we can be spiritually, culturally, academically stronger. So without going on too much, on behalf of the Dharawal and the Wadi Wadi, again I'd like to really give a heartfelt respect to everybody here, to the families that have supported your students. I know that my family have supported me and my community also throughout your journey. This is a journey of life. No, regardless what culture, what language you speak, it's part of that growing. So on behalf of the Dharawal Wadi people, welcome, welcome, welcome here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Auntie Joyce, for that gracious welcome to country. And thank you for your wise words and reflections on the lifelong journey of education. Welcome, everyone. My name is Professor Theo Farrell. I'm the Deputy Vice-Chancellor and Vice President for Academic and Student Life here at UOW. And I'm thrilled to be your Master of Ceremonies for this afternoon's ceremony. I would like to acknowledge our Indigenous Strategy Unit and our local Aboriginal community. Through their leadership has brought to life a vision for an inclusive, reconciled, and united Australia through this graduation ceremony, where we recognise that Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people are the knowledge holders of country. To all of you in the audience, I say thank you for joining us here today on this very special occasion. Now, before we begin our proceedings, I'd just like to remind folk, please, to turn their mobile phones to silent. So you won't be surprised to hear that the university is extremely proud of our graduates, and we're really excited to be celebrating your achievements in person here today. We also congratulate family and friends who have supported our graduates on their journey. We know that our graduates have been through a lot. They have endured the many aspects of the COVID pandemic and all that followed in its wake, and they have triumphed. And so we are here today to congratulate our graduates in their many achievements and to acknowledge their dedication and commitment to their goals and their aspirations to make our world and our communities a better place. So please join me in congratulating them. Please now stand for an instrumental version of the Australian National Anthem. I would now like to introduce the Chancellor, the University's highest official, Miss Christine McLaughlin, to give the congratulatory address.
Thank you, Professor. Graduates, family, and friends, welcome to our graduation ceremony, your graduation ceremony. My name is Christine McLaughlin, and I am the Chancellor of the University of Wollongong, and I am honoured to be with you here today. It's truly one of the highlights of my role to witness students celebrate this great milestone. I'd like to thank the Indigenous Strategy team and members of our Aboriginal community for leading our procession and smoking ceremony today. I pay my respects to elders past and present and acknowledge their continued spiritual and cultural connection to the lands on which the University of Wollongong campuses are located. As part of today's celebration, we bring focus to the themes of the artwork Cultural Healing by artists Auntie Lorraine Brown and Auntie Narelle Thomas from the Kumadichi United Aboriginal Corporation. You will see this artwork all around you, on your graduation booklets, as part of the stage design, and in various other contexts. We hope to continue learning from and building a deeper understanding of this cultural wisdom. Looking out to this marvellous sea of gowns, I would like to begin by congratulating each and every one of our graduating students. You are the reason that we do what we do. Indeed, it's a special occasion for all of us, but it is particularly significant and special for you, our graduates. Many of our graduates are the first in their family to graduate from university, and this is a tremendous achievement. Today's events are the culmination of years of hard work, personal sacrifice, and commitment. I hope you feel a deep sense of pride and will take this moment to reflect on your achievements and how far you have come. Of course, this time of celebration is important, and I hope you will soak up every minute of it. But I also want to emphasise that this is not a conclusion. Indeed, this is a beginning. May each of you capture these feelings of pride, energy, and passion and take them with you into your future. And I hope that future will be one in which learning forms an ongoing part of your life and personal development. We are very fortunate to have access to so many opportunities for further study, and so I'm so thankful to have been able to advance my skills with education and training throughout my career. Yes, it never stops. Graduation is also an opportunity to thank all of those who made your achievements possible, your family, friends, mentors, and your teachers. This is a really special moment for them too, and I'm extremely sure they're so very proud of how far that you have come. Today we acknowledge the important role they have played and invite them to share in your success. I know that some of these important people are able to join you today. I was the first member of my own family to receive a university degree, and the pride and joy that gave to my family and dear friends is a memory I've kept with me, and indeed I'm reminded of every time I attend a graduation ceremony. So really treasure today. As a cohort, you share in a unique educational experience in an extremely challenging time in our history. So much has changed in recent years, and like many industries, universities have had to innovate rapidly, particularly in teaching and learning. The strength and determination you have shown to get here will stay with you and hold you in good stead for many years to come. The completion of your studies at UOW places you amongst the most employable graduates in Australia and indeed the world. I can see a lot of smiling parents. The success of our graduates is one of the many reasons our university enjoys such a strong reputation and is ranked among the top 1% of universities globally, while aiming higher every day. With UOW students at our locations in Dubai, Hong Kong, Malaysia, and soon India, and partner institutions in China and Singapore, I hope that you feel proud to be a part of a university with an outstanding reputation that spans the globe. The transformation you're making today from student to graduate is a significant opportunity to establish your priorities, take stock and focus on your future. At the same time, leveraging all that you've learned both academically and about life during your time at UOW. Alongside the many changes that will happen in your lives following graduation, today also marks a new type of connection with this university. One I hope will be lifelong, through a further study or as a proud ambassador. Joining our vibrant global alumni community of more than 185,000 alumni from almost 200 different countries. You're connected by shared experience of studying at the University of Wollongong. As much as it's possible, I encourage you to maintain this connection with the university and with your fellow graduates. The relationships you form during your time here will be invaluable in the years to come. The university's commitment to a better future has shaped our direction and impact since our inception. In those early days, developing the Illawarra and its industries focused our intent, and our pioneering spirit was born. From these origins, we have grown to be a diverse and inclusive civic university, working to solve global challenges and promoting harmony and social inclusion. Our success is seen through our wonderful graduates, our people and valued partnerships, locally, regionally, and internationally. Together, we are working to solve the biggest questions facing society and striving toward a better quality of life for future generations. This theme has been increasing in prominence in light of the Australian Universities Accord. In essence, the Accord emphasises the pivotal role that universities play in advancing the prospects of graduates and enriching the vitality of communities. UOW is proud to contribute to the review process of the Accord. We have underlined the importance of actively championing lifelong education and addressing the diverse needs of communities. This ceremony is public recognition of your commitment and your achievement. It has been our absolute privilege and pleasure to have witnessed and played an integral role in your journey. Having the honour of being here with you today will be one of my final duties as Chancellor of this wonderful university, bringing to a close one of the most fulfilling chapters in my professional and personal story. I will take with me many fond memories of the University of Wollongong as this honour moves to a new Chancellor at the end of the year. As you begin your next chapter, what will you take with you from this place and at this time? I'm confident that your experiences here have shaped the person you are today and the career you're about to embark on. As graduates, you are now well placed to forge your own future, create your own story with curiosity, empathy, and compassion. So now it's time to celebrate. Celebrate your hard work and success, and know that the world is at your feet. As you set forth in your careers, remember to always be bold, courageous, and strong, and stay true to your beliefs. Think carefully about how you will leverage this incredible education you have, how you can harness your achievements to be the best you can possibly be, and use your voice to encourage others around you to do the same, as you will all need to embrace continuous learning to keep pace of the rapidly changing world around us. And be assured you are all empowered to make a difference. Set yourself ambitious goals and chase them. You have graduated today, so that goal has been achieved. What's next? Beyond today's celebration, I encourage you to set your sights high and work towards something you believe in, because when you find your purpose, you will find your place. Again, my best wishes and congratulations to each of our graduates. May you have a very happy and memorable graduation day with loved ones and friends and fellow students. Thank you for making us proud. I'm just going to say, when you walk up here, I've seen some of those shoes. They've got pokey heels, so be careful. I always observe the shoes when I'm walking down the middle. Thank you all very much. Professor Farrell.
Thank you, Chancellor. It is now my great pleasure to commence the presentation of the awards. I now introduce Executive Dean, Senior Professor Eileen McLaughlin to present the graduates to the Chancellor for the Faculty of Science, Medicine and Health.
Thank you, Professor Farrell. It is my great pleasure to be here celebrating with our graduates today. We are very proud of what you've all achieved, and I wish to convey my personal congratulations to all of the graduates. Will the graduates who are to be presented with undergraduate and postgraduate awards from the Faculty of Science, Medicine and Health please stand up? Chancellor, I present to you the graduates to receive awards from the Faculty of Science, Medicine and Health.
In the name of the Council and by my authority as Chancellor, I confirm your admission to the awards for which you have qualified.
Graduates, please be seated.
Tia Lily Boland. Grace Georgia Guthrie. Charlotte Lily McEwen. Courtney Temple. Finn Wilkinson. Mieta Panozzo. Mitchell Anthony Ashford. Izzy Firmstone. Sophie Lamont. Shania Latu. Jamile Nisa Yavuz. Matei Nolan. Kian Ruffley. Lucinda Grace Starr. Ijoma Evelyn Abazi. Rowan Al-Alwan. Nijala Banjara. Prativa Batrai. Alyssa Davidson. Yalisha Dungana. Natasha Gagora. Bandana Gurung. Esme Gurung. Radhika Gurung. Keely Hudson. Mansi Kapadia. Subi Kamachariya. Toshika Koirala. Tien Lang Li. Sonia Magar. Sudeshna Maharjan. Manzi Mala. Amelia Jade O'Leary. Diksha Odari. Nurjeen Dolkar Pakrin. Din Duan Pham. Manisha Podel. Sita Rana. Asmita Regmi. Letitia Salmond. Saswati Tamang. Shrishti Tamang. Rushma Tapa. Anthony Valendiano.
Good on you.
Alicia Watson. Manila Yogi. Ashwini Butatoki. Ellen May Fowler. Svetlana Gupta. Kyle Alexander Prescott. Ang Wongden Sherpa. Kotoyo Kasai. Isabel Diana Goulet. Mateja Kosovic. Jody Patmore. Abby Jean Rita Hilia Holia. Byron Elvis Vinovich. Mikhail Atkins. Cassandra Leanne Gillen. Courtney Suzanne Harvey. Emily Kate Healy. Agnieszka Stanisława Martina Lister. James Menzies. Nicholas Edward Ewer Newsom. Zachary Peters. Caitlin Rowney. Andrew Edward Tarras. Nathan James Vanderberg. Scarlett Widowson. Teresa Rose Wild. Molly Grace Cahill Wright. Nicholas Buchner. Andrea Grace Coleman. Alexandra Heddle Alice Liss. Caroline Martin. Zane Nutter. Gavin Paul Phillips. Lana Jane Phillips. Amelia Grace Wilson. Lucy May Migo. Ben Newby. Bronwyn Pearson. Ryan Ben Cope. Cameron William Kirk. Mark Coyle. Nathaniel Tate Worcester. Frankie Banks. Sophia Rose McGowan. Jessica Ann Burville. Kelsey Zane Dixon. Chloe Louise Rodriguez. Sarah Barclay.
We will be continuing the presentation of awards shortly. I would now like to introduce our musical item for today. It's my pleasure to introduce Sandan Groves. Sandan is currently studying his honours in psychology here at UOW. He's a local musician who has been performing at weddings, venues and events for the last 5 years. Please join me in welcoming Sandan, who is going to perform Put Your Record On.
3 little birds sat on my window, and they told me I don't need to worry. Summer came like cinnamon, so sweet. Little girls double dutch in the concrete. Maybe sometimes we got it wrong, but it's alright. The more things seem to change, the more they stay the same. Don't you hesitate, girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. Just go ahead, let your head down. Sapphire and faded jeans, I hope you get your dreams. Just go ahead, let your head down. You're gonna find yourself somewhere, somehow. Blue as the sky, sunburned and lonely, sipping tea in a bar by the roadside. Don't you let those other boys fool you. Gotta love that Afro hairdo. Maybe sometimes we feel afraid, but it's alright. The more things seem to change, the more they stay the same. Don't you hesitate, girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. Just go ahead, let your head down. Sapphire and faded jeans, I hope you get your dreams. Just go ahead, let your head down. You're gonna find yourself somewhere, somehow, just more than I could take. Pity for pity's sake. Some nights kept me awake, I thought I was stronger. When you're gonna realize that you don't even have to try any longer. Do what you want to. Girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. Just go ahead, let your head down. Sapphire and faded jeans, I hope you get your dreams. Just go ahead, let your head down. And girl, put your records on. Tell me your favorite song. Just go ahead, let your head down. And sapphire and faded jeans, I hope you get your dreams. Just go ahead, let your head down. Oh, you're gonna find yourself somewhere, somehow. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandan, that was beautiful. We will now present the awards for our postgraduate graduates from the Faculty of Science, Medicine and Health.
Monique Rosetta Amy Coleman. Michelle Karati. Maya Omar. Emily Rose Doris. Simone Mary James. Brittany Katrina Reed. Adine Sowinski. Dean Michael Thistlethwaite. Evan Daniel Jacobson. Asma Banu. Birendra Shrestha. Saru Tapa. Adrian Christopher Fahey. Mildred Beatriz Fuentes. Wendy Joan Howard. Nora Crotty. Kristen Harris. Pratima Acharya. Sumi Arjal. Kamala Batarai. Madhu Chowdhury. Prabina Deoju. Gurpreet Kaur. Appa Gurung. Srijana Gurung. Ramandeep Kaur. Pawana Khanal. Kopila Kulal. Subiksha Kunwar. Dawa Gyalmu Lama. Jasmina Maharjan. Nisha Maharjan. Tripti Neopatne. Awa Pradhan. Shikha Pradhan. Sofika Prajapati. Rosie Pan. Suja Rai. Nisha Sapkota Adhikari. Sweta Sharma. Meena Kumari Shapunja Pun. Sarala Shrestha. Roji Siwakoti. Bhagwati Tapa. Chandani Tapa. Saru Tapa. Suchada Shriyoti. Maria Corazon Telan Caballado. Amadip Kaur. Liam Octoloni. David Tai Tan Vung. Liza Mani Devar. Haley Nicole Simpson. Christy Lee Thomas. Alok Singh.
Chancellor, I present to you from the Faculty of Science, Medicine and Health for the Master of Nursing International, Mandeep Koza. It is now with great pleasure that I announce our doctoral award recipients today. Will the graduates who are to be presented with the doctoral awards from the Faculty of Science, Medicine and Health please stand up? Chancellor, I present to you the doctoral graduates from the Faculty of Science, Medicine and Health who, by reason of their thesis and other work at the university, have met the requirements for admission to doctoral degrees.
In the name of the Council and by my authority as Chancellor, I confirm your admission to the doctoral degrees for which you have qualified.
Chancellor, I present to you for their doctoral degrees, for their examination of whether AS and NZS respiratory protection standards for filter penetration ensure that worker health is protected against nanoparticle-sized disease particulate matter, Dr. Kerry Burton. for their examination of the impact of the introduction of national regulation of paramedics on professional identity and professional evolution, Dr. Buchanan Christopher Reid. For their study into a shared cancer follow-up model of care, Dr. Tiffany Ellen Sandell. For their study of the intersection of nitrosative stress, ferroptosis, and aberrant calcium signaling in Alzheimer's disease, Dr. Rochelle Balez. For their study into alterations to neuronal communication in ALS using a patient-derived stem cell model, Dr. Zung Doha. For their examination of direct visualization of single molecule protein dynamics on silica nanoparticle coatings using high-speed atomic force microscopy, Dr. Nuwan Hegoda Arachi. For their study into the molecular mechanism of how viruses recombine DNA, Dr. Banu Mantri. For their examination of glycosylamine-glycan interactions between group A Streptococcus and human keratinocytes, Dr. Tani Brooke Dorothy McEwen. For their study into the excited states of gas phase ions via laser-induced photodissociation action spectroscopy, Dr. Benjamin Ian McKinnon. For their study into the novel arsenic resistance genes of Bacillus species CDB3, Dr. James Kenneth Charles Syfleet. For their study into biocompatible aqueous-based conductive inks for cryogenic extrusion 3D printer, Dr. Aida Shushta Zada Nasere. For their study of resolving stalled DNA replication through single molecule visualization, Dr. Kelsey Sarah Wynn. For their study of redox gel electrolyte for wearable thermocells, Dr. Zuyer Tung Jo. For their study into the conservation genomics of the sugar glider, squirrel glider, and spotted-tailed quoll, Dr. Monica Lee Kutniper. For their examination of the key threatening processes impacting the critically endangered Fitzroy Falls spiny crayfish, Dr. Sarah Bridget O'Hee Miller. For for their study into the role of volatile organic compounds in aerosol and ozone formation over southeast Australia, Dr. Jonathan Ramirez Gamboa. For their exploration into the potential utility of self-reports as a tool for injury surveillance and injury risk monitoring during Australian Army basic military training, Dr. Neil Gibson. For their study of the generation and investigation of touch-sensing neurons derived from human pluripotent stem cells, Dr. Amy Jane Hulme. For their exploration of the use of antidepressant drugs and exercise as treatments for depression during pregnancy, Dr. Noor Salim. For their study of genes involved in normal brain function and are disrupted in neurodegeneration, including Alzheimer's disease, Dr. Simon Maxur. For their study of nurses' experiences wearing suits which mimic the motor sensory changes of aging, Dr. Alera Margaret Bowden. For their exploration into the role of the enrolled nurse in the Australian nursing workforce, Dr. Rebecca Jane Leon. For their exploration of how nurses and midwives generate and use data from an mHealth app to improve person-centred practice, Dr. Emma Radbron. Chancellor, I now present the candidate to be admitted as an Emeritus Professor of the University. Will Distinguished Professor Nicholas Dixon please stand? Chancellor, I present Distinguished Professor Nicholas Dixon. Nick Dixon, a renowned international leader in structural biology and protein biochemistry, is among the university's most esteemed academics and respected pioneer in his field. Nick's seminal achievements span research areas central to molecular biology, including, but not limited to, the molecular mechanisms of DNA replication, interactions between proteins, and the interactions between proteins and nucleic acids. His extensive output spans 195 publications in premier scientific journals, with a very impressive H-index of 69. Working as a postdoctoral research fellow at ANU, Nick was awarded concurrent C.J. Martin and Fulbright fellowships to study at Stanford University in the States. He returned to ANU as a Queen Elizabeth II Fellow, subsequently gaining a professorship. He joined UOW as a professor and an ARC professorial fellow in 2006, and he was among the first cohort of distinguished professors appointed in 2014. Over the last 17 years, Nick has played a central role in advancing biochemistry at the university. He's secured more than 20 ARC and NHMRC grants and provided sage advice and expertise to colleagues across the university that have led to many more grants. Nick has also served on several Australian Research Council College of Experts panels and has led multiple Excellence in Research for Australia and Research Engagement and Impact submissions for the university. As its transitional head from 2018 to 2020, Nick led the formation of the new School of Chemistry and Molecular Bioscience and was instrumental in the ideation and realisation of Molecular Horizons and the establishment of a world-class cryo-EM facility at the university. This has placed the university firmly on the global mark in the field and positioning us as a world leader in structural and molecular biology. He has also served as the director of the Centre of Medical and Molecular Bioscience, which was the precursor of Molecular Horizons. Nick was admitted as a Fellow of the Royal Society of New South Wales in 2015 and has been a visiting professor at leading universities in Europe, the United States and Oceania. Though he retired in July 2023, he remains highly active and engaged, contributing ongoing research projects and providing support and advocacy, particularly in the pursuit of grants and fellowships with junior colleagues. Chancellor, Nicholas Dixon's legacy, both to our institution and to the field of structural and molecular biology, is immense and enduring. It's a great pleasure as the Executive Dean to present Distinguished Professor Nicholas Dixon to be admitted as an Emeritus Professor of the University of Wollongong.
In the name of the Council and by my authority as Chancellor, I admit you as Emeritus Professor of the University of Wollongong.
Chancellor, I will now present the candidate for the degree of Doctor of Science honoris causa. Will Professor Robert Moses please stand? Chancellor, I present Professor Robert Moses. Bob is a globally esteemed academic leader whose contributions have significantly advanced the field of diabetes care and elevated the University of Wollongong's international reputation as a centre of excellence in medical education. In over 30 years of engagement with UOW, Bob has played a pivotal role in shaping the academic landscape and fostering a culture of excellence in medical education. Profoundly committed to teaching, research and clinical supervision, he has enriched the academic experience of countless students, mentoring and guiding them to become exceptional medical professionals. Robert completed a double degree of Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery from the University of Sydney in 1969. He then came to the institution and completed his Bachelor of Arts in 1991, and he has remained at the university to complete his Master of Science in Honours in 1996. A renowned expert in gestational diabetes, Robert was made an honorary clinical professor within the Graduate School of Medicine in 1998. He also received an honorary Doctor of Medicine from the University of Sydney in 2000 for his work on gestational diabetes mellitus. As Director, Endocrinologist and Principal Investigator in the Clinical Trial and Research Unit of the Illawarra Diabetes Service, Bob's many decades of sustained research, publishing, collaboration, leadership and advocacy have positioned him as a transformative figure in diabetes care. He has markedly expanded global understanding and management of this critical issue, improving the lives of countless people in the Illawarra, around Australia and around the world. He has, and he continues to bring his expertise to shaping international approaches to gestational diabetes care, including as chair of the writing group for the International Diabetes Federation Diabetes in Pregnancy Guidelines in 2009, and as chair and reviewer of the World Health Organization Gestational Diabetes Management Guidelines in 2012. Bob is a fellow of the Royal Australasian College of Physicians and the American Diabetes Association, and an honorary life member of the Australian Diabetes Society and the Australian Diabetes in Pregnancy Society. He received the Australian Diabetes Society Lifetime Achievement Award in 2021 and recently retired as an Associate Editor of Diabetes Care, and is a prominent advisor on a range of national and international bodies related to diabetes and pregnancy. Chancellor, Professor Robert Moses' exceptional contribution to the university, to scholarship and clinical excellence in his field, and to driving better outcomes for sufferers of diabetes around the world are an inspiration to us all. It's a great pleasure as Executive Dean to present Professor Robert Moses for a Doctor of Science honoris causa.
In the name of the Council and by my authority as Chancellor, I admit you to the degree of Science honoris causa of the University of Wollongong. Congratulations.
I would now like to introduce Professor Patricia Davidson, Vice-Chancellor and President of UOW, to present our next honorary award recipient to the Chancellor.
Thank you, Professor Farrell. Chancellor, it's my great pleasure to now present the candidate for the degree of Doctor of Letters honoris causa. Will Professor Bronwyn Fredericks please stand? Chancellor, it gives me great pleasure to present Professor Bronwyn Fredericks to you for admission to the degree of Doctor of Letters honoris causa. A trailblazing researcher, leader, author, advocate, and social justice champion, Professor Bronwyn Fredericks continues to contribute enormously to improving education, health and well-being, and life outcomes for First Nations people, particularly in rural and remote areas. Bronwyn is a proud Maori woman from southeast Queensland with over 30 years of high-impact involvement in higher education, government, and Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander community-based organisations. She is currently a Professor and Deputy Vice-Chancellor for Indigenous Engagement at the University of Queensland, a pivotal role in driving implementation of the University's Indigenous Strategy and Reconciliation Action Plan, strengthening leadership capacity and building community links. She has also served as Pro-Vice-Chancellor Indigenous Engagement at Central Queensland University. A collaborative researcher and prolific author, Bronwyn is renowned for her community-based, multidisciplinary and translational research spanning health, education, women, and Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander members. She is a member of the Australian Institute of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders Research Advisory Committee, the Beyond Blue National Research Advisory Committee, and the prestigious Australian Research Council College of Experts. Bronwyn is also the National Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Higher Education Consortium representative for Universities Australia. She has received numerous awards and fellowships, and was just part of a cross-disciplinary New South Wales Health funded research project on the COVID-19 public health response for Aboriginal communities, and co-wrote an award-winning book on Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander nursing and midwifery care. Bronwyn's exceptional impact was recognised with the Public Health Association of Australia's inaugural Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Health Award in 2019, and a National Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Observance Committee NAIDOC Award in 2022. Bronwyn has 3 times been appointed a Commissioner with the Queensland Productivity Commission, guiding inquiries on service provision in discrete and remote Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander communities, on improving imprisonment and recidivism, and also in manufacturing. She's also played a decisive role in a range of community organisations, programs, and is a passionate member of the Uluru Statement of the Heart Working Group. Chancellor, through her work in academia, government and community, Professor Bronwyn Fredericks has demonstrated her unwavering commitment to improving the lives and futures of First Nations people, and with this, a better Australia for all of us. I also thank her for her commitment to our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander faculty at the University of Wollongong. It's a privilege and honour to present Professor Bronwyn Fredericks for a Doctor of Letters honoris causa.
In the name of the Council and by my authority as Chancellor, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Letters honoris causa of the University of Wollongong. Congratulations.
It now gives me great pleasure to introduce Professor Bronwyn Fredericks to give the occasional address today. Please join me in welcoming Professor Bronwyn Fredericks.
Still getting my breath a little bit. Got a bit emotional there. Thank you for your kind introduction, and thank you, Vice-Chancellor, for reading my citation. I acknowledge all the special guests here today, but I also wish to acknowledge that this is the home of the people of the Five Island Dreaming. In this I acknowledge the Dharawal, Yuin and Wadi peoples, the traditional custodians of country in the Illawarra region, and pay my respects to their ancestors and descendants, and some of whom would be in this graduation audience today. I acknowledge all the special guests here today, the Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, Auntie Joyce Donovan, who I now understand is Dr. Auntie, or Dr. Joyce Donovan, other elders who might be present and Indigenous peoples present, members of the university community, distinguished guests, graduates and their guests, friends and family members. Graduation ceremonies are a special occasion, and it is a particularly favourite time of the academic year for me. I love graduations. This afternoon we celebrate the success of the graduates. Your success has been achieved through hard work, self-belief and determination. It is also the time to acknowledge everyone who has contributed to your success along the way. Behind each student graduating today, there is a story, a big story, of your personal journey. However, there's also the story of your supporters about your story. And I want to thank all of those people here today who have helped support the students on their journey. I want to reflect a little bit on my own journey, and it's things I often don't talk about. I started school at just 4.5 years old in a suburban state school. I lived in a housing commission house in a suburb that was mostly comprised of other housing commission homes, military homes, and a few private homes too. It was a time when the government was undertaking a mass building program and building hundreds of homes at the same time around Australia. Some people moved in and out every couple of years, some people weeks, and others were there for decades. I remember their stories too. There were stories from Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples who were coming in from the reserves and missions as they opened up and people moved to town, and they joined with my family story, who was already in the city. There were stories from people from Europe, South America, parts of Asia, and those stories came with them too. There were stories of war and civil unrest from people who escaped places like Vietnam, Lebanon, and places that had names like Yugoslavia and Czechoslovakia at that time, and people may remember those names. I heard and watched what would happen, and I watched a range of behaviours, and some I would come to know as trauma behaviours. Through all of this, I learned about courage. In my own family, I watched my mother and family members navigate difficult lives and learned about control and influence and interference by the state and the result on people. I watched as people tried to forge new lives and work in jobs in factories, shops, warehouses, and cleaning, and I also learned about courage. My mother would tell me the only way out of that life and the life of poverty was an education. I also heard that from my friends' families too. In time, I too got a job, and then other kinds of jobs. I worked in shops, restaurants, cafes, and factories too. I then found myself in my 20s, working in a shop full-time and in a nightclub on the weekends, trying to support myself. One morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, I was serving beers and the words of my mother came back into my head. And as I drove home that early morning, I kept thinking about what I needed to do. And the only way out of the life that I had was education. I remember that thought of that morning and the days that followed, and having the courage to finally step up and think about college or university. And for some of you graduates here today, you may remember when that thought came into your head. You may remember when you were at university already and then decided it was time to study harder to make it through to today. I say to you, remember these times and the other times when you have needed courage. Since I graduated, I've gone back to education and undertaken more research and more education, as you heard in the citation. I have never, ever regretted gaining my education, the qualifications, the attributes and the skills that I gained from my education. I live well these days, and due to my income and the life I have, I've been able to assist family members and friends, sponsor community activities, and others through scholarships. I have been able to use my experience and skills through boards, projects, and activism to improve the lives of others. I'm able to lead, to read, to analyse, find information that would help myself and others and community groups. I'm called on to speak truth to power, stand up in groups, and also call out wrongdoing. I also recognise these days that there's different types of courage. There's the physical courage we need when things get really tough and we have to have balance and awareness. There's social courage. We have to be ourselves in all that you do and to be unapologetic for showing the real you. To have moral courage to do the right thing, even when it's uncomfortable, when it's unpopular, and to stand up to pressure. To have emotional courage to feel your emotions, both positive and negative, and to do so without guilt. To have intellectual courage to learn, to unlearn and relearn, and have an open and flexible mind. And to have spiritual courage to live with purpose and meaning, and to dwell on the love of life itself. Think about the type of courage you have and what you may need going forward. I've often thought about courage over the past few months, and particularly over the past few weeks. There's been times when I wish people had more courage to call out the lies, disinformation and misinformation that we saw circulating. I wish people had the same courage to do more in their lives. We're seeing the same kind of behaviours now with respect to the Middle East, and we will no doubt see more of the same for the next federal election and other issues as they arise in all of our lives. We can all wish for others to have courage, but at the end of the day, we can't control what others do, only ourselves. We can model the kind of behaviour we'd like others to have, and we can also ask for it and encourage it. I encourage the graduates today, to you all, to be active in your own story, to be active in the stories of others, to be supportive and supporters, to never be afraid to speak up, to have courage, the types of courage I mentioned, but also maybe other kinds of courage that are unique to you. To be the person your children or nieces or nephews will be proud of, to be honest, truthful and compassionate, and importantly, to contribute as citizens in your own communities and in our broader society, because what's ahead of you, what's ahead of me, what's ahead of all of us needs you to be. We need you to be. The future generations needs you to be. I have faith in you. Congratulations, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the afternoon and a wonderful evening, and maybe the wonderful week celebrating your success.
Thank you, Professor Fredericks, for that inspirational address and for sharing your story about the transformative power of higher education, and also for your wise words in reminding us of the importance of courage in living a life with purpose. So I'd now like to call upon Dr. Alara Bowden to give the vote of thanks. Alara graduates today with the Doctor of Philosophy. Dr. Alara Bowden's PhD explored the impact of aging simulation and improvements in healthcare professionals' empathy and person-centered care. She is the first recipient of the Pamela Jane Nye Working Nurse Scholarship, established to support a registered nurse intending to work part-time while undertaking postgraduate nursing studies at the University of Wollongong. This prestigious scholarship is part of an international scholarship program with elite universities in the United States of America, including UCLA Medical Center, Martin Luther King Hospital, UCLA School of Nursing, and UCSF School of Nursing. Currently, Alara is a nursing manager research at the Illawarra-Shoalhaven Local Health District. Please welcome Alara.
Thank you. Chancellor, members of the university, distinguished guests, fellow graduates, partners, family and friends. It is an absolute pleasure and privilege to stand before you today as your graduate speaker and give the vote of thanks on behalf of all graduates. I'd like to extend a thank you to our guest speaker today, Professor Bronwyn Fredericks. It is evident you speak from the heart, and your words of courage will carry with us not today, but into our future. Every graduate holds a unique university experience, and I undoubtedly cannot share each one. However, I feel the following reflections will resonate with each graduate on some level. The university experience can be likened to Alice's adventures in Wonderland. "Curiouser and curiouser," exclaimed Alice. On the surface, the book is considered a simple children's fairy tale. But when you look beneath the surface or fall down the rabbit hole, author Lewis Carroll expertly takes us on a thought-provoking adventure. An adventure filled with characters that are excellent at making statements that hold greater value. Much like our teachers and our supervisors. Sophisticatedly designed scenes and chapters which make reference to mathematical equations, philosophers, poetry, evolution, engineering, mythology, and so much more. Yet, above all, the underlying premise which propels the story's narrative is Alice's curiosity. Like Alice, our journey was underpinned with curiosity, a curiosity to learn and gain new knowledge. On the surface, we have a simple piece of paper to show for our efforts. However, when you look beneath the surface, or go down the rabbit hole, our experiences were anything but simple, and we overcame many challenges to be here today. And this included such things as learning to navigate the physical and virtual environment of the university, receiving feedback, project management, sacrificing sleep and time with our family and our friends, and also performing under pressure. Our curiosity propelled us through these challenges, and we, like Alice, have undergone self-transformation as a result. I do want to reassure the graduates that unlike Alice, this is not our imagination. It's all over, we did it. On behalf of my fellow graduates, thank you to the university, the faculty, staff, students, and teachers. For higher degree graduates, this thank you extends to our honours, masters, and PhD supervisors. Our success today is as much ours as it is yours. Your person-centred approaches to teaching, dedication and passion to your job created an enriching learning environment of which we now feel empowered to take our learnings into our future endeavours. I'd like to ask the graduates, if possible, please stand and face the crowd and join me in a warm round of applause for partners, family and friends. We thank you for your love, unwavering support, encouragement and guidance during this incredible journey. Our gratitude for you is unmeasurable. Thank you, graduates. And finally, to the graduates, congratulations. This is our moment, so stop, take it in, enjoy, and celebrate your successes. And like Alice, seek adventure, imagine, look beneath the surface, attempt the impossible, challenge your assumptions, and most importantly, stay curious. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bowden. I would now like to call upon the Vice-Chancellor and President, Professor Patricia Davidson, to say a few words.
Thank you, Professor Farrell, and thank you, Dr. Bowden, for those inspirational vote of thanks. Today, as we give thanks and celebrate your achievements, I'd also like to take this opportunity to recognise and farewell two exceptional individuals who have played pivotal roles in the University of Wollongong's journey and, in particular, your student experience. First, let me acknowledge Professor Theo Farrell. Professor Farrell joined the University of Wollongong in 2017 as an Executive Dean, and his passion for our students' unwavering dedication and leadership soon saw him rise to the position of Deputy Vice-Chancellor for Academic and Student Life in 2019. Professor Farrell is departing the University of Wollongong to embark on a new chapter in his career as Vice-Chancellor of La Trobe University in 2024, and we extend our heartfelt wishes. Professor Farrell has left an indelible mark on our institution, and his vision and commitment to teaching and learning and students will be deeply missed. Secondly, we pay tribute to Chancellor Christine McLaughlin. Appointed in April 2020, Chancellor McLaughlin took the helm of our university during an extraordinarily challenging period for the higher education sector. Through her tenure, the Chancellor has proven herself as a beacon of strength and wisdom, guiding the University of Wollongong through perhaps the most turbulent economic and social times in our history. Her leadership has been marked by her unwavering commitment to our institution and the communities we serve, not just here in Australia, but throughout the world. Today, as we acknowledge the significance of this being your last UOW graduation ceremony that you preside over, there might be more, let us express our gratitude. Your legacy will continue to inspire us. Professor Theo Farrell and Chancellor Christine McLaughlin, we thank you for your outstanding contributions, particularly in the very challenging time that we've experienced during the pandemic, and wish you all the success in your future pursuits. Your dedication to education and our university community will be remembered and celebrated for years to come. Congratulations and best wishes to you both.
Thank you, Vice-Chancellor. Graduates, families, friends, and colleagues, we are coming close to the end of our ceremony today. We now wish to share with you our graduation video. We hope this video will encourage you all to reflect on the infinite moments that have led to where you are sitting here today.
Everything we've done has led towards today. But graduation seems singular. After all, it's one day, one degree, one end and one beginning. Think about it this way though. If we divide today by 4 years,
or 5 years,
or 3 years, or 8 years,
the equation becomes clearer. Because today isn't just an event or a graduation or a moment of change. It's what we've created through 24 subjects.
11 all-nighters.
357 books read.
54 5,000-word essays.
40 monologues critiqued.
154 films watched.
And 4 films made. Let's be real though. Our experience is way bigger than just the classroom. You've got to factor in
665 hypotheses.
6 heated dramas.
2 semesters abroad. 5 new cultures experienced.
12 concerts attended.
843 waves ridden.
169 hours lounging around.
17 dance parties.
2 major heartbreaks.
And more lifelong friendships than we can count.
When we take those experiences, the long days, late nights and early mornings into the equation, we realise that graduation at the University of Wollongong isn't just some singular thing.
That it's a transition from finding our purpose
to changing our world with the purpose we found.
That our passport to the future has been stamped
with the mark of a globally respected education.
And most importantly, we realise the moments that led up to this are
a tapestry,
a symphony,
an equation,
a 65,000-year-old history.
We realise that though today is a single moment, graduation is much bigger than any one day. Because like an algorithm made up of bits of code.
Or a building built from many bricks.
Or a community built from many different people. Today is the result of our
experiments,
experiences,
tests,
trials,
and victories.
So that's what we celebrate today. Not the cap, not the gown, but the infinite number of moments we shared at the University of Wollongong.
Thank you. There's nothing in my notes about those kind words that the Vice-Chancellor shared. Thank you very much. I'm not sure if you're also surprised, Professor Farrell, but as I said earlier in my introductory remarks, it's been an absolute privilege and an honour to serve as Chancellor of the University. As the Vice-Chancellor mentioned, though, it has absolutely been a really tough 3.5 years for everyone involved in the university sector. But I think it's important for the graduates to also know that your experience over those years is probably a little bit different to had you been graduated sort of over 3 years ago. So that's made you very resilient and very capable group of change agents as you move forward. So very best of luck. So before we close, and we can close now, can I please ask our graduates to remain seated while the rest of the audience stands, just for a stretch. And stand and please join me in congratulating our graduates by giving them a warm round of applause. Thank you. You now sit for a moment. Thank you. I'd like to warmly thank the students and staff who volunteered their time to assist with this celebration. The logistics of a graduation ceremony cannot be underestimated. I always really enjoy the walk through the auditorium when I see the incredible fashion on display, particularly from the graduates, but also your family and friends here today. We feel really proud to celebrate here with you. We'd now like to invite you all to join us under the marquee outside for some light refreshments. Hopefully the rain has eased, and the Mace and myself will be out there for some photos if you would like. Our Aboriginal community members will lead the academic procession, followed by the graduates and then our VIPs. So if you can be patient and remain in your seats, and the ushers will advise you when to start exiting the venues. So they'll be doing that row by row. Congratulations once again to our graduates, our teachers, and I now declare this ceremony closed.